I'm Dr. Craig Sommer. I have a practice in Colorado Springs, and it's a practice that is a general dental practice, but I have an emphasis on holistic dentistry. When I was talking with my wife and discussing where I'd like to take the business over the next few years, one of the things I looked at was I have a holistic focus. I know what I want to bring to patients and how I want to do it, but I'm having a harder time than what I expected bringing staff on board with me and having them understand where I wanted to go. If you've been in business for a number of years, you know with employees it's a lot like herding cats. It can be very difficult. It's easier if you all have a common goal. If you decide to all hold hands and in a circle and to say, okay, let's run. But unless you define a direction to run in, it's going to be just absolute bedlam. It's not going to have any consistency. It's going to look like a train wreck. So what I'm trying to do is to take staff members and bring them on board with what I have as a vision for my office and for desire I have for my patients, and have them understand where I'm coming from, understand what internal values that they have are consistent with the whole process, and put together a program for the future that's going to be recognizable and certainly different from other offices. In this day, we need to be able to differentiate ourselves from our competition. And one of the ways that we've been able to differentiate ourselves in our office and with our patients is to have this unique brand message, if you will, with holistic dentistry. Suzanne has been able to help us put that together, make it more coherent, make it more clear. And one of the things I noticed we're doing is I'm now making decisions based on what our brand is. Do I incorporate something into the office? Do I buy something? Do I talk about something? And if it's not consistent with the brand, it's easy for me to say, no, that's not something I need to spend time, money, or effort on. And patients will be able to feel this consistency. Actually, they're already feeling it. We have had excellent reviews in the past, and we have a review service that we subscribe to that monitors those and posts them for us. And we've seen that grow enormously in just the last few months, and I've been very, very pleased with that. The efforts that we've expended on doing the brand DNA within our office have allowed us to spill over into doing things on Facebook and social media, which has been helpful for business. We've gone up with the number of likes from next to nothing, which is what a lot of offices are at, to, I don't know, 1,300 and growing. So I really appreciate the clarity that the whole brand DNA process brings to making decisions. Oh, speaking about employees, when you're hiring a new employee, do they fit the mold or do they not? Does their whole demeanor, their appearance, their attitudes, their values, are they consistent with yours? Well, if you don't know what your values are, it's hard to say whether or not an employee's values are consistent or not. So I'm finding that that's another benefit that I wasn't even thinking about. I think the consistency that we'll have in the office as a result of having gone through the brand DNA program will allow us to continue to develop relationships where the patients have a tremendous advantage. All right, going through the discovery process was, well, first of all, nobody wanted to do it. Nobody likes change at all. We're satisfied with where we are, and the only way we can be prompted to move is to see a reason for it. And I've talked about listening to radio station WII-FM. You may recognize that as abbreviation for What's in It for Me. And until the staff could see how it could be beneficial to them, they were a little on the difficult side to motivate. So after we spoke with Suzanne, Suzanne had an opportunity to direct, actually in our office. She made a personal visit to our office. That's what we were looking forward to having. And in that process, she was able to talk to our employees, have them understand, okay, we've got something we can do here where everybody wins. And pretty soon they're engaging back and forth and having conversations that were quite meaningful and got very, very interesting. Talked about topics we never talked about before. And the staff now has been a group that has become a little bit more close-knit. They're working together better. They have, I think, relationships that are far better than what they were. That was an unexpected benefit. I didn't see that coming. I'm really happy that it was one of the advantages of going through the program, sort of a bonus, if you will. Employees are now suggesting what we can do to add to the brand that we have now established. What can we do now to do something on Facebook that'll be consistent with that? How can we have patient recognition that'll be consistent with that? What sort of gifts do we give our patients that are new to the office? I have people that are writing articles for me now and starting to put together things that we'll be using to change our website over. So the engagement level has gone from here to here. I mean, it's really jumped up nicely. And that was a nice benefit of having brought everybody through this process. Well, what are we going to change now as a result of having gone through this? The list is probably longer than I want it to be because I'd like to have it all now, but the practicalities are we can institute things in a stepwise fashion only. We have now plans for redoing or doing a facelift, if you will, for the office. Recarpeting, repainting, new furniture, and waiting room's going to be, or reception area is going to be totally redone. And as a result, we're now thinking differently about that process. What colors are we going to use? Because this is a multi-sensory approach. We're coming in. Do we have colors in the office that are calm and comfortable? Do we have, the ambiance, the sound, what people can hear when they walk in? Is that comfortable for them? How about smells? We don't smell like a dental office. So that's one of the things. We got diffusers in here for essential oils. We're doing things that will enhance all those senses that we're considering as part of this branding process. So changing the office is one. Now, we're also going to be changing things on our website as a result of putting this process in place. We're going to be having articles and blog posts there, changing the look and coloration of the website as well, which will be more consistent with the office coloration. So we have consistency from Facebook, consistency within the office, consistency on the website. It's not done yet, okay? This is still a process for us. So we're working on it, looking forward to getting it completed. It's exciting, but it's like a lot of different things. You can't eat that whole elephant in one bite. You have to do just a little bit at a time. Well, if you're thinking about maybe doing something like branding in your business, I'd encourage you to go through it. I think I made a mistake when I was working on trying to build my office in maybe looking at marketing before I really had an idea of who I was and what I wanted the practice to be. I think a lot of efforts were wasted as far as time and energy, going into different areas and trying different things and not really sure of what I was trying to portray. So going back and looking now at marketing and branding, I realized that branding would have been better done first so that you know what you're trying to market, and it helps with, like I said earlier, the decision-making process is easier if you have a brand to compare things to. Is this consistent or not consistent with my brand? Should I incorporate this or not incorporate this in my brand? So therefore, when you're going to that marketing phase, you have the brand part of it locked down really tight so you know exactly what you're doing, and then it's easier to convey a consistent message in all those different media forms that you choose. Can you imagine the difference? You know this if you're a dentist, that if you improve somebody's smile, everything changes. Their whole world changes, their relationships change, their confidence level changes. They can get a job that they were hoping for. They can be back in the market again if they've lost a husband or wife. And it's fun to see that happen. And this is part of that whole process. Actively engaged in improving people's lives, but coming at it from a perspective, a brand perspective that you know and understand and people can appreciate when they come into your office is amazing. I'd suggest you do it.